Forms and forms design. First topic, basic parts of a form. There are 5 basic parts of a form: title, instructions, heading, body, and conclusion. The title identifies the form. It should be as descriptive and as brief as possible. Examples are purchase order, memo, sales order, etc. The title usually is centered at the top of the form. Second, instructions. Instructions tell how to complete or use the form. To be most useful, general instructions should be at the beginning of the form. Instructions should be placed so that they are seen before the form is completed. Forms that have multiple sections or parts may have a new set of instructions at the beginning of each section. Third one, heading. The heading contains all the general identification data. For example, date, form sequence number, name, and address. Next one, body. The specific data the form was designed to collect is called the body of the form. Example, a sales invoice that shows quantities, item descriptions, unit prices, and total prices. The body of the form should read from left to right and from top to bottom. This helps both those who must complete the form and those who must extract data from it. The last part of a form is the conclusion. The conclusion contains the approvals, signatures, and summary data. It appears at the bottom of the form. Next topic, styles of forms. Two basic styles are used to design the body of forms: the open style and the boxed style. The open style is the simplest. It consists of headings and open areas in which data can be entered. The boxed style allocates space to each data item. Each box is clearly identified by name or by a brief description. Next topic, types of forms. There are two types of forms: cut forms and specialty forms. The type of form is a classification determined by the complexity of its manufacturer. The most common forms are printed single sheets of paper called cut forms. Specialty forms are more complex. Examples are multiple copy forms, forms with special binding, and forms designed to be completed with the use of a machine. There are 4 principal types of specialty forms: forms bound into books, continuous forms, detachable stub set, and mailers. Examples of these forms are shown in the figure. The simplest specialty forms are those that are bound into books. They are very similar to padded cut forms except for a stronger binding. They are designed to be completed manually. Examples are sales books and receipt books. Continuous forms are forms that are a series of pages attached end to end in a long continuous string. The most common examples of continuous forms are the forms used on computer printers. These forms may be single part or multiple part with carbon copies. A type of specialty form that can be filled in by hand or by machine is the detachable stub set, which is an original and one or more carbon copies bound together. The set may either use carbonless paper or be bound complete with the carbon paper. The binding may be on any of the 4 edges of the form, but is most often at the top of or left edge. The bounded portion of the set or the stub is perforated. Individual copies may be removed from the set, or the stub may be torn off to separate all the copies. These forms are very popular because of the ease and convenience of use. The form may be completed either manually or by machine. The last general type is the mailer. It is a version of continuous forms designed to be filled in with a computer printer. Its construction is different enough to classify it as the 5th type of specialty form. Mailers are blank forms sealed inside envelopes that are attached end to end as continuous forms and covered by a cover page. Selected areas of the cover page and the front of each envelope are backed by carbon paper. All the data to be printed, including the name and address, is printed on the cover page. Because of the positioning of carbon paper behind the cover page, only the mailing name and address print through on the envelope. Because of the carbon paper on the front inside of the envelope, the form inside the envelope also is printed. The cover page is usually retained as a file copy of the data being mailed. It may be printed with information that does not print on either on the envelope or on the form. Mailer forms are fairly expensive, but their use saves the cost of stuffing and sealing envelopes. Next topic, principles of forms design. There are four main principles of forms design. First one, the form must be easy to fill out. Second, the completed form must be easy to use in the system. Third, the form should not collect data that will not be used in the system. And the fourth one, the form should not be unnecessarily expensive. Then first one, the form must be easy to fill out. It is important that the analyst avoid errors induced by the form's design. Design-induced errors may occur whenever the person completing the form is not sure what data is being requested. Then, data items should be grouped in a logical pattern. Grouping requires fewer instructions and results in fewer errors. All data entry areas must be clearly labeled. Make sure that the user knows whether the label applied to the line above the label or line below. Then leave adequate space for the response. Then second point, the completed form must be easy to use in the system. Ease of use means sequence the data on the form in the order in which it is to be used. The analyst should be aware of the effect of ink and paper color combinations on the legibility and readability of forms. Readability can be improved by the combination of ink color and the background color. Many business inputs source data into computerized system with optical scanners. Then third point, the form should not collect data that will not be used in the system. The analyst should verify that all the data are requested on a form are required and are actually used in the system. Many times data is collected on a form simply because it was collected on previous versions of the form. Data items not actually required waste the time of the person completing the form and clutter the form for those who use this data. Wasting clerical time adds unnecessary expense to the system. Last point, the form should not be unnecessarily expensive. The cost of using a form are far greater than the cost of producing it. Design forms in a standard size such as 8.5 inch by 11 inch or 5.5 by 8.5 inch. Printers buy their paper stock in standard sizes. Then avoid forms larger than 8.5 by 11 inch. Larger forms are more expensive to store and require larger, more expensive file storage. Print forms in reasonable quantities. These are the main principles of forms design. The form must be easy to fill out. The completed form must be easy to use in the system. The form should not collect data that will not be used in the system. And the form should not be unnecessarily expensive.